Hello and welcome to this episode of the Guys with Glasses podcast. I'm Bendito John, and I have with me No Name Josh and Wise Joey D. Hey guys. It's going good. So we haven't been on in the last few weeks. It's been kind of crazy. Um, Joey D's been having fun vacation travels, and I've been doing some conventions. Josh has been busy with school, but we are back, and it'll be awesome. It'll be exciting.
You know it.
So yeah. So on this episode, because it's been about a month since we last had one, we have a lot of fun things to talk about. We want to talk about Child of Light. We played that one. We beat it, and we want to talk about our thoughts on that. We're going to be talking about the E.T. Worst game ever garbage dump and finding that. And then we're going to be talking about some iOS games and the new Lego Marvel game. So let's get started. What did you guys think of Child of Light? Are you guys familiar with that game?
Yes, I am. Oh, well, I mean, I am now. In the beginning, I was like, I wonder what this is and if it'll be good. But now that I've played it, I'm going to say it's the best game I've played this year so far. By a long shot.
Wow.
I had a lot of fun playing it.
Right in there.
Yeah, so Child of Light, if you're not familiar with it, it's made by Ubisoft, and it uses the same engine that Rayman does. It's kind of, so everything kind of looks like it's hand drawn, which kind of gives it a certain kind of charm. And it's a 2D RPG, and so there is some gameplay fighting elements that are kind of similar to like a Paper Mario or Mario and Luigi title. Yeah, you're kind of just you're like a storybook character, and you're kind of just exploring this world. There's like hidden stuff and
Yeah.
characters to meet and everything.
I don't understand all the hate it's getting. Have you seen any of the Metacritic reviews?
What?
Yeah, so yeah, people either love it or hate it, and I'm in the camp that I loved it. I think the graphics on it were really unique and cool. It all looks kind of hand drawn. I think that the fighting is really fun. I think the storyline was horrible.
Really?
Actually,
I
yeah.
like the story. It's cute. It's like a Disney movie, is what it is. It's
Kind of, although it's like horribly depressing at the end.
Zing!
Zing! it's a Disney.
But that's the way, like,
story without the.
So
ending.
that's what you hated about it, was the fact that it...
No, there was a lot of story elements that didn't make sense.
Like?
There was a lot of things that they talked about but were never explained.
Like what?
Okay, so sorry that we're gonna talk about some spoilers. Sorry, JD.
No, go for it.
So, for example, the storyline is basically that you have died. Your name is Aurora. Not sure if it's from Sleeping Beauty or what, but it's hinted at maybe. And you wake up and you're in kind of this fantasy world, and you're kind of exploring it. It's unclear if like this is a dream, if this is like a heaven or a hell, if this is like a limbo. But that's part of like the storyline is you're dead, and your father is grieving your loss, and the father in his sorrow is dying over the loss of his daughter. And some of the unexplained elements is that the king is like on his deathbed, and he keeps feeling sorry for the loss of his daughter, and then meanwhile the kingdom is going to shit, and everyone's like, King, please give us answers as to what to do. The whole place is flooding, and the king's like, oh, my daughter. And that's it. Then the king at the end dies, and there's like no resolution to this. There's no happiness. The king is not reunited with his daughter. Just the king dies.
Yeah, okay. But that's just you complaining that it's sad.
So this is depressing as hell. And then there's other elements that are like talk about. There's like this one super emo character. I'm sorry, I'm going on a little rant here.
Yes.
There's this other super. Okay, so there's like two clown characters, and they're kind of cute. They're like from a circus and stuff. One of them is fun and is a healer. The other one is totally emo, and you save him right before he was about to commit suicide.
Oh.
I'm like, holy shit, this is super dark stuff. And
Wow.
then there's some other characters, like there's this other little mouse guy that's totally like kind of an asshole and only cares about getting girls and getting rich. And I don't know, it's just there's elements that like aren't explained, and all the entire storyline is talked about in rhyme, which is I think a really unique element. So every character rhymes.
Well, they don't
with-
always
they're talking
rhyme.
to-
Wow.
Well, 90% of the time, I guess I do. And I think that that's a really strong element, but I don't think the writing was really well suited for that. There was a lot of things that just kind of seemed like it was forced to rhyme instead of trying to advance the storyline. Like this wasn't a story that was thought over, in the back of someone's mind for a generation. This person wasn't a master storyteller. I felt like it was kind of just like, oh, we got to think of something to rhyme with this word. Let's
Rhyme.
work
Let's
it.
rhyme time with time.
Exactly, almost.
Well,
So, sorry, I'm on a rant. I'm off my soapbox.
I disagree with you in this way. It's exactly like any other old school 90s JRPG. There's all this shit that's just loose ends and all this crap. You know what I mean? Like,
But I hold this to a higher standard now. Why do they have to hark back to the shittiness of games 20
hey,
years ago?
you know what? They took away from the shittiness of 90. I argue this in my review that'll be out on Monday. Is they got rid of grinding. Thank fucking God.
Oh.
That was
Oh
good.
my God, I was so excited when I only had to do it
Yeah.
like twice. I had to go back.
Every battle is optional, which is cool, and fighting is actually pretty fun. It's more involved than turn-based, but it's less involved than like a real-time like Zelda kind of game. So it's kind of a mix. It's like there is like timing elements. And did you play it on easy or did you play it on hard?
Was it easy or hard, or was there normal and hard?
Yeah, normal.
I
and
played
hard,
it on
yeah.
normal.
I played on normal also.
I don't know. In my old age, I hate playing games on super hard that are like this. Like,
Yeah,
I don't like playing BioShock Infinite on hard. I mean, I might have as a teenager, but now I'm just like, I just want to know the story and the gameplay. I don't need to be
totally felt the same
pissed
way.
off the entire time.
And the game is kind of so. This is also weird for an RPG. Joy D, have you ever heard of another game that has done this? There is no shops in the game.
Oh,
Every item that you get,
wow.
you procure from killing a bad guy.
Wow.
I forgot about
From
that.
opening chests. There's never a shop. There's no money. There's no currency.
There's no-
I liked it.
Which is
I
kinda
didn't
interesting.
mind it at all.
I didn't mind it either. There is like a crafting system where you can make like gems that boost you up.
Yeah, it's like Diablo.
yeah. So that was I had like way too much fun with that. I kind of nerded out. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna make like a faceted diamond here.
Yeah.
Like, combine all, like, my gems. Yeah, there's no grinding that's involved. I mean, basically, if you're fighting the bad guys that appear on the screen, then you're gonna be well suited to beat the bosses.
They're difficult though. I will say that. There's
The bosses were
there's
really
a couple
hard.
of them where I died twice, and I was embarrassed about it because I'm like, I looked online and everybody's like, this game is way too easy, and I'm like, God, I died twice. I cannot believe this.
I'm just gonna brag a little bit here. I never died. Once.
Oh.
Well,
And
I never
normally,
died. I fled twice because I was like,
you fled.
there ain't no way I'm surviving this encounter. I'm gonna have to go back and kill a couple of things to.
The ending was also pretty rushed, I think. Like, so this is kind of a gripe. I think normally in games, when you're about to fight a boss of a level, like there's some warning or there's some inclination that it's coming up, so you can prepare yourself. And in this game, that wasn't the case with every boss. So sometimes you're just like, oh, exploring a new area, boom, hard boss, and it's like you had no time to prepare or heal up. And then the final boss is you fight the second to last boss, and then there's no chance to heal. There's no chance to switch out like your party, switch out their items, and then you fight the final boss. And the final boss is pretty difficult. And it felt a little bit rushed because normally there was always like a dungeon, then a boss, a dungeon and a boss. But in the final one, there's no dungeon. So I don't know, like I ended up playing it really late last night, and I was like, ah, shit. And so I got caught fighting the second to last boss, and then I was like, okay, I really want. And it was like 2:00 in the morning, and I really need to get to sleep. And then all of a sudden, like the final boss comes up. I'm like, God damn it!
Well,
Can't
I
turn
don't
it
like
off.
that you can't save it. That's my one gripe because it's
Yeah.
auto-saved.
It autosaves.
But I had to stop a couple of times. I wasn't going to just run through the whole thing at one sitting. So I, went, got lunch. Me and Cassie ran around town to go do some chores. And I come back and I start the game and I'm like 20 minutes back, into a conversation that I don't want to sit there
Oh,
again,
yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't save the other jester.
You didn't. He committed suicide.
No, I didn't like go and find him.
Oh yeah, he was hidden.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I know, but that was one
Yeah,
of the side missions I didn't do.
Yeah, there was actually another character that I interacted with her, but I didn't like talk to her a second time, and so she didn't join my party. And that's what's interesting is that there was a lot of like optional characters.
Yeah, I think that's actually really cool, and I think it's cool that you can kind of choose the story a little bit. Like, you can leave
Yeah.
the big kabuki-looking dude, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The warrior dude, you can leave him if you want to go deal with those people.
Yeah, that's another small gripe that I had about the game is that there's moments where like you get like 7 or 8 characters on your team, but you can only have 2 out on the battlefield at any given time, and they're not all equal. There's really just like 2 or 3 that are the best, and the other guys you'll never ever use.
Like
So-
who didn't you use? Because I used...
The rat guy.
Oh, the
and
rat guy was awesome.
The emo clown.
I didn't use the
that
emo
one-
clown, but...
And I didn't get the girl at the end, the green girl.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm just...
I digress. It's a fun game.
I'm just saying, it's... To me, I loved it so much more than any RPG, and probably any game I've played this year so far.
I think it's definitely worth $15, and even with all the gripes, it is actually a really fun game. I mean,
Your
I like
gripes
it so much
are
I
like
beat it.
minor, though. You know what I mean? Like,
They're minor for the overall. I mean, if you want a really fun, just kind of like lighthearted RPG, I think it's a really good one. And I mean, you can beat it in like 10 or 15 hours, so
Yeah.
it's not one of those like 100-hour quests. And I did all like searching for stuff and try to find items and everything.
what I
That's
do
fine.
like is that you can go back and do the side missions after you finish the game.
Yeah, there's like a new game plus.
Well, you can even do it without doing New Game Plus. You can just say continue, and you can run around and do your stuff on your own.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The thing I really liked about it is that it is art. It looks beautiful. I mean, like the backgrounds
It
look like
does.
a watercolor painting, and like all the characters are very cute looking, and I don't know, very artistic.
Yeah, I'm glad we're at this point in game development where like game developers can do a risk and they can make like a cheap, Xbox Live Arcade title like this that looks really good. I mean, you can tell that like they didn't really hold anything back by graphics. I think that they had to. Everything there was hand drawn and just did look gorgeous.
I just liked flying around and finding stuff. I mean, that was like half of my quest was just floating around on my little
Yeah.
fairy wings and going around.
That is a cool feature. Is right at the beginning of the game, like in the first 20 minutes, you get to be able to fly, and I mean that's a major core element of exploring kind of everywhere. And so normally that ability would be like, oh, I've played for half the game, and then you get this fly ability, and here it's like, oh, that's just like a core mechanic, is you can go anywhere and explore anywhere.
So, did you hook up a controller for Maggie to play the little sprite guy?
No, I wanted to. They had an element where it was similar to, I think Wind Waker had something like this, where like if you hooked up a second controller, somebody could control like little Navi or like a little avatar. No, I didn't.
It's fun.
I asked her to, but she didn't want to do it.
It's a nice feature because then, you can play with somebody. You're like physically playing with somebody, and they're actually a useful character.
Yeah, and they don't need, and it's only one button.
Yeah.
It's move around and press A, basically.
Well, yeah.
So-
On the computer, it's the mouse. So
yeah.
one person uses the mouse, and I was using a gamepad. So, I mean, that's just what I did.
That's cool. So switching subjects a little bit, I think we agree the game is definitely worth buying. Joey D, tell us about the Lego Marvel game that you played.
It was awesome.
In
That's
summary, there we
back to you in
go.
the studio. It was like no, it was basically it blew my mind, and also it blew my mind because it was probably the only time when I've played a game, and then I was like, when was this released? And it was like a week ago. I was like, I'm playing a modern game. I'm not like I'm playing a game which hasn't been out for like 3 years, or like in the sale section. This is amazing. It was pretty. So that was pretty awesome. To suddenly realize, like, okay, I was playing it with my friend Chris, and my brother came over, and it's been actually years since I've done multiplayer with him. So it was really weird and also hilarious to fall back into that kind of the brotherly thing of playing and I was anyway. It was very cool. It was
So how's the co-op?
The co-op worked
I mean,
really
are
well.
you guys controlling different?
Yeah, it
characters?
actually has this really cool thing where as you kind of if you're playing together, as represented by my 3D fingers, but basically it's like if you're playing together and as you like separate, instead of the screen going oh god and zooming out or something, it actually splits in the middle and then like it like shows the different viewpoints and stuff, and then as you come back together, the screen sort of syncs up again, and then you're anyway. It's a really cool way of dealing with not having to do split screen, but also having split screen, and
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome
that's
and
cool.
really good use of the screen because of that. And the characters are so amazing. Like I can't believe like they get all the rights to Fantastic Four, Avengers. They've got Iron Man, Spider-Man. It's amazing, and like it heavily plays off of the actual, especially the Avengers movie. It plays off of that movie a lot and its imagery. Like it's got the same Stark Tower. It's got and like the fighting moves and stuff. It was really cute if you watch. And I think with if people, I think you'll have you played it? Have you played it?
I played Lego Harry Potter.
Oh,
I think,
wow.
Lego Indiana Jones a little bit. Yeah, so I kind of know that's the style, and they're just a lot of fun.
They're so
you know?
fun, and they have the little eye for detail. It's like the Lego movie, like the little Iron Man guy. Like whenever you're doing his little combos, he does like the Tony Stark thing of pew 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 pew, and then
Yeah, I think they do a really good job of sticking true to the characters, but also making them lovable and kind of like a Lego sort
They're
of
like-
way. Like
they're
they.
amazing. They're like Pixar. I think they've almost like. I mean, I don't know who does these movies, but the whoever's doing these Lego movies and games are like the Pixar of our time. It's like they just
Yeah,
they're just got such a brilliant eye for the storytelling, little details and stuff. The levels do sort of, the one little gripe I guess would be you quickly find there's a certain archetype of the levels. There's grabby things for the Hulk and there's grabby things for Spider-Man. I guess it's kind of you can only do so much. Repeating.
Do they do that to kind of keep because maybe the games are geared towards children mainly?
Yeah.
So like kind of makes it kind of.
Do you know
simple.
what? Do you know what it does? It actually gears towards bite-sized gaming. So you play it, and then you go through 3 or 4 levels, and you just before you get bored, you stop, and then you come back, and then you're happy again. Because if you were to obviously, if you were to grind away at this for ages, you would get really like, oh god, again.
Repetitive,
But like it's pretty good. Like if you were just bite size, jump in, jump out. Love the animations. Love the fact it's like it totally, it's like coming out watching Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Captain America 2, and watching Avengers on Netflix, and you play this game. Oh, you'd be so happy, basically.
So are you a big Marvel buff?
Oh no, that's like not really. My friend Chris is like Marvel, so he knows all this stuff. But and Fantastic Four, he likes Doctor Doom, so he was happy that Doctor Doom is in this. But yeah, it's pretty good, pretty damn good, and I highly recommend.
So you don't have to be a huge Marvel fan in order to
No.
appreciate the
No.
game.
As I mean, I guess I would know a little bit more than most people who've watched just Avengers and Captain America. A little bit more, just because of osmosis from my friend Chris. But like
Yeah.
he just is like this tidbits of information all the time. But basically, he no. Basically, if you go in thinking I love these movies, I want to play a game based on it, then you'll be very happy because exactly what I was thinking. I was like, oh my gosh, this is. I thought it was actually called Lego Avengers. It's not. It's called Lego Marvel, isn't it? But like, I thought it was
Yeah.
based just on the Avengers because it starts off with the Stark Tower. It's got those little helicopter jets.
Oh yeah.
It's all based off
Yeah.
of that. It's got but anyway, it's really good. I recommend anyone to download it. Whatever price it is, just pay it. Just do it. Just do it. You'll be happy.
So how did you feel getting or playing your first new game recently? I mean, was it was it worth doing?
I literally stopped and looked around the room and went, I can talk to John and Josh about this. I can actually talk about this in a podcast. This is going to be amazing. Because it just was like, wow. No, it was amazing for a new game. The everything. It was well bloody played. And it actually makes you think, I think anyone who hasn't played a Lego game and is a bit worried about it should play this game first and watch the Lego movie. But and then you can embark on a whole new world of Harry Potter's and Indiana Jones. I've not done that yet myself, but I'm much more confident in doing that now that I've seen what this game is like. And if they ever do Lego Movie
Yeah.
Game, which would be really, really, really meta,
Yeah,
then
Didn't they do that? Correct me if I'm
Did
I
wrong.
thought they did.
did they?
I think
I
they
thought
did.
they did. Yeah.
Oh wow! Coming
think
at you
there's a
from
Lego Movie game.
2007. No, that.
Lego the movie, the game. Yeah.
Oh wow! Well then, I actually now, yeah, I have. They're awesome. They're pretty damn awesome.
Nice. We're gonna have to check it out. So I played a pretty fun game recently.
Yeah.
There's a iOS title. It's called Cytus. Did you guys ever play Dance Dance Revolution back in the day?
Oh yeah.
No, but I've seen lots of people who have.
Man, so
Some of my greatest
okay,
memories of being in an arcade are centered around
Yeah.
Dance Dance.
Nice, awesome. Well, I was big into it, guys. Like, man, like I got like the home pad like when it was a brand spanking new on the market. I like imported in like the Japanese versions of the game so that I could be better at the arcade ones because the American version had different songs. Anyway, ridiculous.
What songs
like,
were
all
those?
super-
what
super-
songs, John? I know you know.
Oh, they were all. I mean, they're like super crazy. 130 beats per minute Japanese pop songs. Like, and I mean, I was fast. Like, I was pretty good back in my day. Not gonna like toot my own horn, but it was awesome. And anyway, so I haven't played it in a long time. I kind of grew out of it. But they actually have a game on iPhone and on Android. It's called Cytus, and it's basically Dance Dance Revolution for your fingers, which is super fun.
Wow.
They have like kind of like similar songs that are like slow and fast and J-pop and everything, and but the songs go so quick, and I mean it's like it actually. I don't think I've ever had this happen in my life, but my hands were actually sweating, like not from like being nervous, but like just from like moving so fast. It was weird.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it's a super fun game, and you get like a ton of songs, and it's only $2. So I really enjoyed it. They have another one, and it's really well polished too. Like the graphics and the gameplay is really well done. And they have another one called Demo, and it's also a music game, although it kind of scrolls down similar to like a Rock Band style. So they're like going, scrolling down, and you hit them when they hit the bar. And but it's all piano music, and there's actually like a storyline that's involved with it
Oh,
and
wow.
stuff, and there's little cutscenes and everything. So it's kind of cool. So if you're interested in more like classical music, Demo is great for a couple bucks. If you're into like Dance Dance Revolution, like super fast weird music, then Cytus is awesome. That's my 2-minute review
Love it.
of those two titles. And then finally, we wanted to talk about the ET news.
yeah.
So did you guys hear about this?
Yes, I did, and it was awesome.
Yeah. So to give our listeners some backstory, there was this notoriously bad game based on the ET franchise, and it came out on Atari. And
People blame it
appar-
for the crash of '83. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like a video game crash where like people just weren't buying games anymore, and it was said that like Nintendo kind of brought it back. But during this time, I mean, video games were like kind of this convergence, and people weren't buying games anymore, and there was all these games like sitting on store shelves and nobody was buying. Well, there's been this long rumored story that Atari basically got all of these unsold ET games, and they just threw them in a dump. They buried them in the trash. And it's kind of been like this classic, video game tale, and like, oh, where does this horrible game reside? And for a documentary that Microsoft was doing, they went and tried to find it, and they found it.
Mhm.
They found all these buried
Nice.
games.
Everybody like immediately was like, they planted all those there. Look at those boxes.
Oh
It's like,
my.
Where did they get all these cartridges? Why?
Yeah, no, that shit is there. That shit was
Yeah,
there.
it's been rumored for years and years that it's been in New Mexico and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think there's like crazy conspiracy theorist people who will say
course.
that no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I don't really see the appeal of this news story. I don't really understand it. It's like this is a shitty game, and they threw it out, and then people wanted to go find it. I don't understand
Yeah.
it. What's the charm in this story? Can you guys explain this?
To
me?
be honest, I guess I'm weird in this, but I want to buy one of those cartridges. I hope they put them on like.
It's dirty. It's been in a
I
dump for 20
I
years.
hope Microsoft puts them on eBay to like contribute to Child's Play, and I will buy
Dude.
one of those cartridges.
Oh my god! If you want, I can take a shitty game that I have and wipe my ass with it, and I will give it to you, and that will have the same appeal that ET
Oh.
gets.
It's a part of gaming history, man, and I love that.
Skid marks and all.
You're a history major, you're a history buff, and you love video games, so this is kind of a cross the two.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can just imagine you I'm still weirded out that you want to own one of these pieces of history. This is a piece of garbage, literally, and you just put it on your shelf.
Yeah, but I would put it on my shelf too. I'd be like, look at this badass thing that I got.
Yeah, it's gonna be stinky and oh my god,
bit of banana hanging off it, bit of banana skin.
Yeah.
Hey, they were still in the boxes, jerks.
Oh, in the boxes, yeah, with 20 years of mildew and stuff. I saw those pictures of boxes,
yum,
man.
yum,
You
yum,
can
yum,
say
yum,
they're
yum,
still
yum,
in boxes, but all the plastic has been, melted away on it. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It looks amazing. I don't care what y'all say.
It looks like garbage.
You guys suck, both of you.
This is where you hold up the whole eye of the beholder sign of okay, time out.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
One man's garbage.
well, yes, exactly. Another,
Yeah,
yes.
literally, it's another man's treasure.
I think
yeah,
I think that this is funny. This story kind of came out it almost came by surprise, so much by surprise that people were like, I don't know. I was kind of a bit like, huh? You almost know that you're meant to be really excited about it, but it's just so left field. And then I bet you it's going to be I bet you it'll be interesting if they do the documentary. Hopefully they focus more. They find it, yes, and they talk about it, but hopefully they go also focus on. Was it you were saying, Josh, about video games and mobile games and stuff like this, and it might be heading for another crash. Might be. Maybe they'll dovetail into that and talk about that and say, hey, well, it happened once before. We might be dumping all these iOS. Well, you can't really dump iOS games. It's just digital. they don't exist.
Well, Facebook games have totally dropped off the face of the earth.
Good.
Yeah,
That
that's
was kind of a
true.
crash, yeah.
And I do like the fact that those are gone, except for old people. They still love those games because my
Oh.
grandmother constantly invites me to play Candy Crush.
Oh,
And I just wanna
dude,
cut-
she invites me. I'm friends with your grandma on Facebook. She's always inviting
Wait.
me. That's no joke.
know.
She really does invite
You're friends with your grandmother.
What am I supposed to do? Deny? I can't do
Just-
that. That's rude.
You have to pretend it's you got the wrong Josh.
Yeah,
There's another
You know,
Josh.
this is an interesting kind of social conundrum that we are in, gentlemen. In this day and age, it's we get invited
No
to
conundrum.
be a part of all these spam messages. Do we block these people?
Yeah.
Do we just ignore
Like-
it? and just
like
deal
a
with it
boss.
because we love them?
If it's person that I haven't talked to in a long time, I will unfriend them. Have
You guys ever had an intervention like please do not send me this anymore. This is spam.
I have messaged people dude, I'm not playing Farmville. Stop messaging me about it. But who was it? I think it was somebody's friend somehow friended me, and they were it was one of Skylar's wife's friends friended me and was like, hey, Farmville, I need onions. And it's God damn it, stop fucking...
So she only added you for her Farmville account.
Basically.
my.
Basically.
How do you feel being used like that, Josh? Your
Sad.
friendship means nothing
I
to
know.
her. You're only used to get more
Yeah,
points.
and it's
single tier.
I feel annoyed that I was the only used to get onions. I'd at least be worth a cabbage. I'm at least worth 2 cabbages. Come on.
I'm worth a cow. Okay? Yeah, I don't know. I just... My dad and stepmom are addicted to a game that's like Farmville. And
Oh,
it's
gosh.
it's just a nightmare.
I think, do I do? I try and and now I just ignore the messages and whatnot. But if I do see people, what I'll do is I'll generally strike up a conversation, including the whole group, going, "Wow, isn't it really annoying when you get those Farmville messages?" And then basically
That's so
it's just
passive-aggressive.
it's an informational broadcast to say, "Hey, I'm kind of annoyed by it. Next time, I will name you and shame you." This is just a general hey, see, people don't really like this, so don't do it. Yeah,
I mean, it's a genius marketing ploy, from the creators of Farmville and stuff, in order to like, oh, do this, share this out with everyone, and people just do it with one click, and it's immediately shared with all their friends. I mean, like, I don't think they really know the damage that they're doing, the friendships that they're destroying.
the inboxes they are overfilling. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. It's obnoxious. I have unfriended people I haven't talked to in a long time just because I don't want to get stupid Candy Crush Saga or.
Tell me that you ended that as you defriended them, you sent a message, and you're not having any more onions from me.
I should totally do that. Next time I do it, I'm doing that. Defriended.
I'm just imagining like someone wearing a shirt that says like, "My onions bring all the boys to the yard" or something.
Yeah, that would be brilliant.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why you guys aren't excited about the digging up of ET cartridges, but whatever.
It's good. No, I'm interested. I'm excited to see what happens, how they're going to sell them, because clearly Microsoft are going to be like, we need to. I mean, it depends on how desperate they are to get good sales figures for their Xbox. It'll be like they'll roll in the sales in the ET game into it. It's like, ooh, we found 100 million.
Ooh, we're literally throwing in garbage in with our consoles.
But
Josh would like this. If there was like an ET special edition, Josh, you would be.
Oh hell yeah, I would.
I know.
That'd be amazing.
By the way, do you know what I was disappointed? Right? Was that I liked that they dug it up. This is why. So basically, when I read the story, I was all like, okay, and then basically it just was like they dug it up, and I was like, because I thought they were going to play it, because I thought that was one of the things that was lost in the midst of time, that no one has actually ever played the game or
no,
like,
you can play it.
They sold it. You can
the
buy
Angry
it.
Video Game Nerd did a review on it.
I thought that was like
super
not
rare or anything.
I thought it was like kind of not the final or something, like they didn't quite know the version.
There was other versions,
like something like that, and that's why like they threw all the rest of these in the thing, because it was just so messed up. And you know what I mean? I thought there was like a special, like we'd actually never played the version that they'd thrown out. I thought that was what maybe.
Oh,
I think, but anyway,
I don't think so, but maybe.
I've heard,
unless there's a different console that it's on, like other than Atari, then nobody's played it. I don't think.
You know, it's funny that like people want to retain like this history of this super shitty game. I mean, like this is one of, or if not the worst game ever made, but yet there's a history to this. You know, there's like a lore. You know, there's those rumors going around, like what Joey D's mentioning, like why was this thrown away? You know, like where was this thrown away at? Where is the treasure hidden? You know, I think in the storyline there's a certain part of charm to that.
You know what I think Microsoft needs to do is figure out who stole those. Who got to keep the... There was like a competition, and I think it was in the late 80s, maybe early 90s. There was like 4 different games that came out, and it was like Earth, Wind, Fire, and Water or whatever. And depending on like whoever finished the game first would get put into a competition, and whoever won that competition won like a crown or a scepter or...
Yeah, real life. It was like made out of gold.
They were worth like $25,000. Yeah, it was ridiculous. Yeah. But then they only got 2 games into it, and the remaining games never got. They didn't do a championship for one, and then the other one it got canceled before it ever came out.
Oh.
And what they were gonna do after everybody won the 4 games, they were gonna have all those people do a tournament together.
Oh, wow!
And then they could win like a sword, a gold freaking sword. It was awesome. But they disappeared after the company got bought, and nobody knows where they're at.
Maybe they were spending all their money on the marketing budget for like golden weapons.
I know, yes.
Apparently they were mega hard, and the like booklet had like all these clues in it on where to find certain stuff.
You know,
wow.
Those are some classics. I remember that, like, we had to read the instruction booklet to, like, figure out, you know, a hidden puzzle. Like, the game would be like, look on page 37 for a clue or whatever. Yeah. You know, like, that was cool back in the day.
I agree. And, like, most of the time it was, like, a word puzzle. You're like, what looks like a word on the background of this page, you know, or whatever. I don't know.
You know, they don't even have instruction manuals anymore. I mean, now you just get like an insert that just says "turn on the console" and it's like an epileptic seizure.
Yes,
yeah, that's exactly what.
This may kill you, but good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly it, and it disappoints me every time I see no instruction manual. I go, oh.
Do you know what I miss? I miss maps.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
Actually,
remember
I have-
Remember Zelda on the SNES?
Yeah.
That big map. Double
That's
sided.
so awesome. Like kids would like hang that up on their wall.
Yes.
I was like, that was awesome
Yeah, that was
back
so
in the
amazing.
day.
I actually have a map on my wall. I can look at it right now.
Oh, what?
What game is it for?
It's for frickin' Elder Scrolls
Oblivion, Morrowind?
Morrowind. Yep, Morrowind. Yep.
Do you know what?
Awesome.
There's
I got it special from the guys at Game Crazy back when they were still open.
Whoa.
Because I was
Whoa.
buddies with a few of those people, so
That's pretty
yeah,
awesome.
like sometimes you get like a cloth map. I mean, that was like
that's what it was.
holy
That's
shit
what it
right there.
is. It's a cloth map. It's awesome.
Man.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Okay, is it weird? Okay, I'm gonna ask a question. Is it weird that I went and bought I bought the special edition for Aliens Colonial Marines.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That game-
Does it come with like a statue?
Yes,
or
it does, and it was only $29. I couldn't help myself.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
down from
yeah.
like $80, so I was like, I have to get this.
Nice.
And I bought Uncharted 3 Special Edition because it was $60, down from like $150.
wow.
Well, that's not bad. I mean, when you're getting it for like the price of a game, you know, and if you like the statue and stuff.
Well, it's cool because it's got like a box, and it opens up, and there's like Nathan Drake statue, and it's
Nice.
awesome.
I'm gonna send you guys the worst special edition ever. It's for Spider-Man 2, I think. Special edition, Amazon. It is. What's the new Spider-Man movie that just came out?
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
2? Yeah.
Yeah, and so what's the one blue guy?
Oh,
shit.
Electro.
That's in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Electro's face. It looks so bad. The special edition is just a bust of his head.
Oh,
That's-
It's
that's
stupid.
creepy, actually.
Yeah, and creepy.
Sorry if you're hearing me type on this. Oh,
It's
anyway,
fine.
you guys can talk. I just want you guys to see this so we can laugh. It's so bad. It's so bad. Oh my god, it's so ugly. Who would put this on their shelf?
Where is this?
I'm about to send it to you guys. It looks horrible. Click, gentlemen.
At your peril.
Did it go?
At your peril. Yeah.
What's the Colonial Marines?
Oh my god, it looks awful.
What? I can't say anything. What's this? Oh, here we go.
Oh
here we
my
go.
lord.
It's a bust of his head. Like, who would put that on their shelf?
Nobody. That's who. No one puts that on their shelf. That is awful.
But I'm still.
It doesn't look cool at all.
Oh my god!
It's
Whoa.
not Spider-Man. It's
Oh
like-
no!
It just looks horrible.
Hello?
Yeah, so I don't know who would put that on their shelf.
Sorry, my apologies.
We'll just edit that out.
Just in anger, rage quit Skype.
Yeah, you rage quit the conversation. I hate that bus so much.
Oh, that's so creepy. That's so creepy. Like-
I can't just imagine someone being like, "Yes, I want an ugly statue of
Oh,
that
dude,
guy
it's really
from
scary.
Spider-Man on my
Do you know
shelf."
what- if you mouse over, you get a massive magnified view.
I
of
know.
it. Oh,
I
that's
know.
hor-
It's creepy, right?
That's horrifying. That's actually horrifying.
I-
And that's also.
So,
Oh,
going back to your comment, Josh, I think special editions are great, especially when you get them on sale for cool properties, you know, or games. But sometimes special editions just should never be made.
Oh, I know. I agree. But so the Colonial Marines thing, I was all upset about because I'm like, damn it, I got Michael Biehn to sign a picture, but I really wanted him to sign like an Aliens item. But everything at Comic-Con was super expensive. They were like, I want $40 for this Corporal Hicks action figure, and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah.
Especially when you can get them on like Amazon for like $5. You're just like,
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, never mind.
oh my
So-
gosh.
Not worth it.
What was
Maybe
it?
so.
What was the Colonial Marines statue in the collector's edition that you got?
It's one of the Marines in one of the mech suits,
oh.
and he's fighting the alien.
Ooh, that's cool.
Whoa, that is cool. That's actually
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I think it's got like the tail grabbed, and it's like got the head in its other.
Oh, that's
thing. It's pretty cool looking.
Nice.
I haven't opened it. This is my
What?
bad thing. I haven't opened any of these.
Oh my god.
They're just
Oh my god, you're.
Sometimes they go up in value.
I'm a terrible person because that's exactly what I think. I'm like, these are going to be, in box forever, I
No.
took them out of their original box, but I didn't take them out of their inside packaging.
Oh my god.
I couldn't help
No.
myself.
Your dad has to have the financial talk. You put your investments in your 45k or whatever that is over there,
401.
and then unless this thing is appreciating by like 10% a year, oh then hell
This
yeah.
is Josh's retirement fund, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I do have the Donkey Kong limited edition game. It's worth like $1,000, so
What?
That is cool.
yeah. It's one of the Nintendo Championship cartridges.
Only given out to winners of a competition, right?
Yeah.
Wait, did you win?
No, some random lady. Okay, Game Crazy again, the most amazing people in the world. I just happened to be there chatting with one of the guys. This lady comes in, and she's like, "Hey, do you guys trade in Super Nintendo games?" And they're like, "No, that's too old." And she's like, "Well, I don't want it anymore. Can you guys just take it?" And they're like, "Yeah, no problem," because everybody there was like game collectors. And we started digging through the box. There was an original Super Metroid in the box with like the manual and everything, and Earthbound, this Donkey Kong cartridge, everything.
How did you get that? Was it just a massive fight to grab whatever you could then?
Yeah, like how did you get your Donkey Kong cartridge?
So the guy, I don't know if he knew whatever, but he was like, "If you buy me 4 games, I'll give it to you." So I bought him 4 games that he wanted.
You got the better end of the deal.
I know. Well, he knew what it was, but he's like, you're way more into this kind of stuff, and I'm probably not gonna hang on to it, and yada yada yada. So
Maybe that's what people thought about the ET game.
Zing! I love it.
you're such a terrible person, John.
I know.
Just on fire today.
Well,
Well, guys, I think that concludes this episode of the Guys with Glasses podcast. I'm Bendito John.
no name, Josh.
Why should we do?
Sign off. See you next week.
See ya.
Bye.
Meow.
Meow.
Meow.